Hey everybody, welcome to the first class of Steampunk. So my question to you all is, what is steampunk? Steampunk to me is fantasies that are going on. It's going to be like the next big thing with mixing high industrial tech with the Victorian era. And we're going to have like lots of gears, and we have lots of things that we're going to get to. But for the first class, I really wasn't sure who was going to be coming and who's going to be here. So I really wanted to show you guys because we have a free Chibi class coming up for everybody, and I am plugging in that. So it's free. I want everyone to look at it. So I wanted some practice drawing this Chibi. This is what she's going to look like. We're going to put some more detail into her, some gears and stuff on her as well. And we're going to take this little Chibi chick here, try to say that 5 times fast. And we're going to do the American Fusion, which that's my specialty. That's what I get my bread and butter and paid for doing comics. So we'll be taking the Chibi drawing concept here into that with more guns and gear and all sorts of cool stuff. But first, what I like to do is make sure we're all on the same page. I'm going to put 300 DPI, that's 300 dots per inch. I'm going to go to inches instead of pixels. I'm going to ahead and do a 20 by 20. And I've got my screen right here like this. And tell you what we're going to do is, and we're going to take some screens after this. We're going to make it fast. I believe in a 5-minute warm-up. It's 5 minutes. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, my handler, who's running me from 3D Buzz. He'll time it. Let's just try to get my hand loose again here on my Wacom tablet. And it may be, you guys may be at work all day, and you don't have the opportunity to warm up. So you don't have to follow along with me. That's fine. I don't mind that at all, because I'm kind of stretching your skills to say, what do you think X will look like? So X today will be a standardized, I guess, what do you think, Mr. Nelson? Let's do some sort of backpack.
Sounds good.
Stylized backpack for a, yeah. I'm getting my programs mixed up. I work a lot in Manga Studio now, and Photoshop's kind of. Anyway, I'm going to start out with a blue. I always start with a non-photo blue. It's kind of a tradition of mine because of my comic book background. I'll lay that down first. I'll create another layer and draw on top of it. What I'm going to do here is draw my base. And again, you guys don't have to necessarily follow along here. We've not started the time yet. But I needed to draw kind of a base to where my guy can carry his backpack. All right, there's my base. I got the shoulder, and he's kind of looking, but that's fine with me. I'll actually pick a lighter blue for the backpack. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, why don't you give me a countdown and let's go.
All right, go.
Okay, what I'm going to do here is shoulder straps through here, and we need to do something kind of cool because this is steampunk, right? So we're going to have lots of gears. I'll put some circles through here like this, like he has some sort of telescope on his back. And all I'm doing is simple shapes. I don't want to run anybody off or fear what's going on. So maybe you can pull this alongside him. And then let's have this standard square through here. I'll take my brush size down. Start putting some circles and gears and stuff like this here. Another square. Another square, and an elongated line like this. I really want a lot of circles for gears here in steampunk. And I'll put my brush stroke up a little bit more like this. So kind of make it look like a wire frame through here. And we'll put another gear through here like so. And from this, let's go ahead and build this on top of it like this. And let's put something back here that's attached, some sort of pot that he will boil or put experiments and stuff in like that. Okay, so I got my base guy drawn in this real quick backpack. I'm going to do is create another layer on top of this as a group. I don't want that. That was a faux pas. I'm going to come back here and pick a black now. And with my layer I just created, select it, I'll come back in here and start making some nice smooth lines. And then I'm going to put some more detail How much time we got, Mr. Nelson?
3 minutes.
Plenty of time. What I'm doing is I'm hitting shift. Oops. Hitting shift. Make another gear on top of it like this. Wrapping this around my frame. Again, pushing my stylus down here. Hitting shift, holding this down here. Make a little lens here. Take down the line weight variation. Bring my line weight up. That's one thing we want to avoid is having the same line weights on everything because it makes it boring. Definitely have to have a cylinder of some sort through here. Backpack. Again, hitting shift. So I have nice straight lines. Bring my brush size down a bit more. Following this around here for the contour. Oops. And then we can put some more greebling, as Steve Curtis loves to call it, and through here for gears. And all I'm doing is really having fun. There's really no rhyme or reason in here to make it look like I'm looking. But again, with steampunk, you have all these gadgets, all these gears that you want to make it look complicated and cool. Just bring this down here like so. Another gear area through this. Maybe we'll have some chords coming in through here like this. They like to have lots of chords in their area or their pieces of art. And voila, it's a quick little backpack. How do we do on time, Mr. Nelson?
30 seconds.
Plenty of time. So that's my guy. We have a big mustache. And literally, you're watching how I start off my first passes with everybody. And again, I don't expect you guys and gals to follow along by any means. Okay, we should be done by now, correct, Mr. Nelson?
Indeed.
So there we go, 5 minutes. We have kind of a nice little base model we could actually work from if we wanted to. But we're not going to do that today. I need to stop because now I'm just being silly. So I need a volunteer. Let's take the first two volunteers, see what they made. See what they made, and then we'll get started.
Alrighty, go ahead and raise your hand if you want us to switch over to your screen.
If not, I will call upon you, Wolf. You know I will.
Oh, it looks like we have a Sunny.
Rock on.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how it works.
Hey, Sonny, how you doing?
I'm fine, you?
I'm well. You're new to the class, aren't you?
I am.
Hey, man, I am glad that you're here. It's nice to have some new blood. I don't want to chase you off. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, my handler, he has a tendency to be grumpy, so just watch yourself. He does bite.
All right, I'll try to survive then.
I don't see your screen yet. Where's it at?
Oh, maybe it's because it needs to be there, right? Sure. Do you see?
Not yet.
Uh-huh.
What happens is Mr. Nelson, 50 Shades of Nelson, will give you control. And you click on the button. I think it says OK or whatever. I see your screen.
You see?
I do. I see your Windows thing there.
All right, it needs to be there then. All right.
Nice backpack, man. Really nice line control, too. Seriously. I love your outline that you made. I can tell you have a nice art background.
Thank you.
And you made yours a double telescope sort of looking thing. I like your vest, how goes through his shoulder, not through his shoulder, but around his shoulder. Very impressive, sir. Well done. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, make a mark down, give him a gold star, and tell him that we will be watching him.
Alrighty.
Well done, Sonny. I'm proud of you. Seriously, well done. We'll take one more victim. Did quite well.
Okay. Yay.
Alrighty, next up is Mr. Leonard.
Leonard, it's been forever, baby. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Keeping out of trouble. See, I deviated.
You know what? That's fine, because we're free thinkers. It's okay to deviate from the norm.
Yeah.
Make sure the backpack, I like the little snap things you got on it, and the side little, I'm not sure what they are, but like little jetpack looking things.
Yep. Yeah. Little thrusters and the mask down below.
I like that. Well done. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can come up with. Here later on, we have more time. You have to tell everybody what you're working on and what you do for a living.
Okay.
He slices genes from animals and puts them with mutated humans. But that's neither here nor there. He's a freak.
Dr. Moreau's Island. Yeah.
He's going to make me a cat person that can teleport. It's going to be awesome. All right. You have my secret out now. All right. We're going to get started. You ready?
Ready.
Roger that. Going to take my screen back, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson. All right. Let me see what I've got here. All right. So you can tell the basic Chibi here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new layer. I believe in creating new layers as I can, and naming them. I'm going to put this base 01. And the important thing I want to show you guys is I'm going to come back to my layer 2 here, my selection tool. And take your little head, hit Control C for copy, Control V to paste. You see that bit of a movement. And ta-da! I bring your head down. She's essentially 2 3/4 heads high. That's it. And we can tell this looks like kind of a squash potato, okay? I'm going to get out of this, come back to my base layer here. Actually, let me come down here and ghost this out quite a bit. Come back to my base layer 1 or 01. And so you guys can carry on and follow along properly. The image size of this area right here is 300 dpi, which is, it is heavy. Okay, but I really want to have a lot of dots per inches to work with. So my ink, so to speak, can grab a hold and make, finite details. And again, going back to my comic books that I work on now, like this one right here I did today. This was actually almost 40 inches high by 20 some inches wide. But now it's shrunk down image size, down standard comic book size page, 11 to 17, only 72 dpi. But I work really big and I shrink it down and it hides a lot of detail, or it makes it a lot tighter. So it's nice to get in the habit of working big, and then when you shrink it down, things look a lot tighter. That's my little girl, by the way. Coming back here. I need to learn how to read too, don't I, Mr. Nelson?
That would be a good start.
Yeah, it'd be a good start. I love you too. Let's go ahead and do a pinkish red color. I'm going to hit my B for brush, not P for pen as in Manga Studio. That's bloody big. Bring my brush size down to a 20. It's still a little bit big. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. To a 10. I like a 10. That's fine. And if we were to look and make a square right through here, and again, it's not a perfect square by any means, and we cut this down in the middle, and you cut it in half like this. Just going to make a new layer as well. Say non-box. Pick yet another color. I'm very colorful. I like to pick my colors. We'll do a darker green. There we go. So again, a lot of my classes, I've showed you guys and gals how to break up the head. This is the 3/4 pose. And what I'm going to do is try to keep my head on the inside through here. And when I get to this quadrant, this will be 1, 2, 3, and 4 quadrants. When I get to the end of the first quadrant into the fourth one, let me zoom in here for you. Remember the V I'm always stressing. Comes through here, and this is where it starts to get deformed like a potato. stay in here. We'll come down here just a little bit. She's not pointed at all. I'm kind of making her nice and round and chubby. Come back into the third quadrant, not all the way, but almost. And then we finish her out like that. And I will take base layer off. And we have a chippy head. Yay, chippy head.
Yay.
And again, if you noticed, like I showed before, her whole body all the way down to about her ankles is another head length long. So what you can do is what I showed you by doing Control V, Control Paste and all that, you can actually measure out the chippy. The chippy should be pretty darn easy to do. So now she's not going to be this grand superhero where she's all like this, okay? We're not doing that sort of art class here. We're going to draw part of the neck. We don't want it just floating. We want to have a nice kind of neck that we can build gear and stuff on. And if you look, again, another V. It's just an indication of where the breasts go. And I can say breast, can't I, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson? It's not a bad word.
Nope.
And it's not a bad thing. Okay. I'm going to come down through here, looking for my shoulders. Bullocks, B. Shoulders come out through here. And I'm bringing it in a pinched area like this to kind of elongate her waist. Now, you can't really tell in the final, almost final drawing what we're going to do, but we have to draw the outline first before we clothe her. That's important. So the woman's waist, for birthing purposes and the way they are made because of, I guess, human evolution and all that stuff, they're wider out through here than a man's. And it comes down to a V like this. So we really zoom in. It almost looks like, you know, an octagonish looking thing. So we have the breast area right through here, her latissima dorsi, lats through here, her hip, where flexor and gluteus maximus and all that meets. That's her butt. And now her legs. Again, you can't see the legs in through here, but we need to draw them out anyway. I'm a firm believer in drawing through everything that we do so we can get proportions correct. And it seems like I'm leaking green everywhere. So I'm going to come down. This is almost a straight angle. To actually straight but bows out a little bit to give a bit of quadricep action. This is where her knee goes. I can actually make a stick with the knee right through here like this. Right down where her crotch area goes, it starts to pinch in a little bit. Crotch area through here like this. Now this bows out again a little bit because even though she's a cartoon character, we want to be able to recognize anatomy and stuff, her quadriceps. Okay, if you notice from here to here, it's almost the same length from her knee to her ankles, which is not actual human proportion, but will give you guys a nice baseline. From her knee to her ankles are a little bit shorter. So I'm going to throw this out nice and curved. I'm going to pinch it in nice and tight. And then my little foot. Most of my girls I draw, I really like to have them on their tiptoes. It helps elongate the legs, makes them look sexier and hot and all that sort of stuff. There's a couple schools of thought. I could literally draw a triangle like this. And you have yourself a foot. This is essentially what this is, where the ankle comes out. You're coming out at an ankle like this, an angle for the ankle. Come in slightly. This bows out here. And you come down at an angle like this. Now, the thing you have to watch, ideally this is where the foot comes down, making a straight line. If you notice, this is where other foot's going to hit, so it's even. Because the last thing I want to do is come down here, make my foot, and have a foot way down here like this. It just looks a bit odd. Now, I'm not saying that's never the case. Sometimes, you know, we're going to want to do that for foreshortening and all that sort of stuff. But right here, again, for the knee, you're going to come out here like this. Bring this down. Comes in slightly. Again, simple shapes. Almost like a bird or crow flying. No pun on that because I do the crow's nest. Comes down nice and sharp. And comes down like that. I'm going to go a bit to catch up. So we have the head. Our shoulder placement is here. You have the breast area. This is where her rib cage would be, belly button, muscles like that. Where her legs are going to go to her knees. Her gastrocnemius is down through here, through her ankle. Nice little shoe. And we'll have her arms out. And now, whenever I draw my fusion characters, I usually make them 8 to 9 heads high. And the way I measure everything out, let's come back here real quick. Create a layer. I keep doing that. Create a layer here. Hit B for brush. Select this area right here. Okay, so that's her head. I'm going to hit Control T once this is selected. I can come down here to where her elbow's at. Pivot it here and then bring it down here. But ideally, from her shoulder to her elbow should be about 1 head length long. I come down here and pivot it again. Pivot it again. From her elbow to her wrist is another head length long. Even as she's jetting forward, that's how we do it. However, there's always a rule or an exception to the rule. Can I have a heck yeah, Mr. Nelson?
You may.
I love you so much. So she's not going to be like that by any means. We're just going to make bullocks. We're going to make bullocks. Little sticks right here. Her hands. We can build on top of that. So now we have our baseline. Simple. Easy peasy cover girl. Am I correct? Yes, I'm correct. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this layer here that's already all green. Thinking, hold on, let's just do this. This is the non-box layer, as this is the box layer for the head. I'm actually going to take this and ghost it out quite a bit. Create yet another layer on top of this as we move and plow forward. I'll say final 01, we'll do a final 02 as well. But I'm going to brand new layer through here. We have everything in our wireframe, and it's not really a wireframe, but because of my 3D background, you know, if you go to the wireframe, you see all these vertices that you pinch and pull. Ideally, there would be a vertex here, probably here. Anyway, for those with 3D background, you understand what I'm talking about. It is my base layer. And for my base layer, I can start building things. I'm going to pick a dark blue here, which is almost a finished black. Test it out. I like that. My brush size is at 10. And I'm looking at my picture that we're going to be drawing. I'm going to follow along what we've drawn so far. I'm going to start down here, a little V. Come down here like this, nice and smooth. Just going to bring this down and around like that. And I know her goggles are going to come up here. Nice little circle area for their goggles. Little straps in between. Circle area for goggles like that. And from here, I'm going to start building my hair off of the head. I have this, it comes up to a point. Let me redo that. I have another point here, so that's 1, 2 triangles. Flares out like that, 2 little points. And we look, we have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to come down here, 1, just past the chin, 2, 3. So we can finish this up right through here. So this is what it should look like so far. Let's take this off, base layer 2 off. Let's leave base layer 2 off. That's what we should have so far. Going back to not box layer, I want to have little bangs that are coming through here like this. And what I'm doing is I'm doing 1, 2, and this third layer right here. This is me cutting in part of her head, not literally. I go 1, 2, back to the base area that we've already drawn. Follow this along like this. I'll zoom in nice and tight through here. Hit my eraser tool. Let's pick the right eraser, shall we? We shall. Let's do a hard edge. Let's try that one more time, Mr. Nelson. Let's bring my eraser tool down to a 9. There we go. Erasing this area in through here so we have a nice, clean, beautiful, nice line weight. And you can tell close up, we can see all the anti-aliasing or aliasing. We bring it down here. It really starts to make it look nice and tight look. All right, so we should ideally have the hair drawn, parts of her goggles, the face. Let's go ahead and do this. We shall. Hitting my B for my brush. A little bit of a neck area right through here. And then I'm going to bring this little area where her cleavage is at, her breast, comes down here like this. Now, this shows that we have a big dress going on. I'm cool with that, but let's do something a little different. I always like to kind of change things up. Mr. Steve Curtis will be grumpy about that. But let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Because we can kind of see our latissimo dorsi through here. Let's go ahead and bring that in there. I'm going to bring my brush size down to an 8. And we're going to give her some straps right through here. 1, 2, 3, like that, like she has some sort of corset on. And then we have our legs drawn. So let's go ahead and give her some boots instead of a dress. And notice the angle that I just made. I'm not going straight across like that. It's almost like the edge of the lips. I'm bringing it down and around. We're trying to create form. So what we'll do is we'll bring this down here like this. Follow that around like that. And then let's flare this out to here. Flare it out to here like that. Another small ellipse like this. And we'll flare this out like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to throw some detail on here. I like detail. Detail is the fun part. I'm bringing my brush size down all the way to a 4. Okay, that's a nice test. I'm going to come in here like this. This is for Leonard. Making a circle here, circle here, circle here. So we have 1, 2, 3. That's almost holding up this cloth area. What I'm doing is I'm imagining these lines in her cloth, the texture that are kind of flowing, following around. And this third one right here, if you notice, I'm starting right where the circles are at on each side. So I'm going to follow this along down through here. Because what we can do later on is color. This could be a white and then gray, or a brown, brown. You know, stuff to break it up with. Let's go ahead and finish this circle right here. Come down to her foot. Again, all I'm doing is following my contour we've already created. Come down here like this, make a little V so it shows there's some texture in here. Instead of a point, I come down to an angle where it's squared off. And then let's create the heel. And what the heck? Let's throw another half circle in here like this. Square here. Bring some lines in here like that. Bring our brush size down quite a bit. So now I pull back. It's a nice read. There we go. We have 1 foot done. How's everybody doing? Does anybody need me to slow down or go over anything again? Go ahead and raise your hand in the class because I don't want to lose anybody our first class. I know a lot of you guys have been with me quite a long time, but I know we have new people here as well.
Looks like Wolf, he says foot.
No, foot you too, Wolf. No.
I don't know what foot means.
Tell you what, I'm going to retrace my contours real quick, give him time. Remember I made the ellipse It's not a straight line across. It comes around like that to grab the form, comes down through here. I made 1, 2, 3 circles. I flare this out to make it look kind of like it's a cloth area. So we have kind of hard leather through here, and we have cloth through here that's striped. Another ellipse in reverse, bring it down, kind of flares out like Captain America's boots. And then from our base area, it looks very much like that. We just build our foot. Instead of coming down at a point like this, we choose to square it off, come down through here. This is our first pass this line through like this. And we came back to make a little fatter heel, comes back at an angle. And literally all this stuff through here is just, like Steve would say, is grbling, what's he call it, Nelson? Greebling.
Sure.
But when you have all this nice small detailing through here like this, whenever I bring it back, it looks really nice. And that's what we want. That's why I work big, because when I shrink it down to normal size, it really looks like we put lots of time and effort into it. So we're going to move on to the other foot, shall we? Yes, we shall. I'm bringing my brush size back up to a 5, and this is going to follow this area through here like this. All we're doing is making, this is her left leg, look like her right leg. This comes above the knee like that. We have some folds that come in through here. Reverse ellipse, bring this down like that. And then let's come back in here and draw our detail. We have 1, 2, 3 here. Let's do one on the edge here, one circle here, one on the edge here. And from this corner here, I'm literally just following it down. I would perceive it to flow, and you can have fun with it. And then come down here, this angle like that. I have a circle over here because I have a circle on that side. Let's flare out something like that. And again, I'm going to follow our contours that we've already have. So I'm going to come down here like this, square it off, come down here, and my little bird wings through here. I'm going to take my brush size down to a 4, and you can tell the heel over here like this. And now let's make our little straps. Let's come in here nice and tight so you guys can see it. This is this side here, and what we'll do is flare it up like this. Let's actually go ahead and make a buckle. It's a square. Follow like this. Now I'm going to bring my brush size down quite a bit, all the way to a 2. Let's get in nice and tight. I'm literally drawing in between, like this. Make a little X here. Greebling lines, circle, circle. Bring it back here like this. We got some really cool detail on through here. Of course, we need to put a little bit more in here to match the other shoe. So we come up here like this. Bring it back down here like that. And this is what we should have so far. I mean, not bad for like less than 25 minutes worth of work. So let's go ahead and finish this baby up, shall we, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson? Yes, we shall.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So tell you what, because we have this Victorian like era thing going on with steampunk, let's give her some, hold on, let me bring my brush size back up to a 6. Let's give her a little bit of lace through here like that. And then let's go ahead and make a square here for a belt. More greebling. Making an area where the bra would be, or a strap across her chest. Let's come back down here nice and tight for the belt. Here's a little trick. I got my eraser tool down to a 3. What I'm going to do is erase this area right here, because if I just leave it here, it looks flat. But what I can do, if I go back to my brush, I come past this just a little bit. You can tell just a little bit on each side. Do the same thing over here. Get my brush again. Come back just a little bit. Let's make some straps through here. I pull back like this. It gives the illusion that it's actually wrapping around her. Let's come up here and 2, 3, like that. Get some texture, and then let's finish our legs up. I'll bring my leg like this, because we've already drawn that. And some area where some cloth sat there. And we're more than halfway home. What do you think, Mr. Nelson?
Looks good.
She's no pony, but she's pretty. And inside the little lace, let's do some more greebling in through here for some detail to make it look all nice and lacy. There we go, like that. So I'm going to zoom in tight here. I'm going to assume, or I'm going to make the call here, that this is all bare, where her bare skin is at. So I'll bring my eraser tool out through here like this. My brush, part of her neck. This comes down to where clavicle's at. I know you're like, well, really, can people see that? Yeah, you can kind of see that even at this detail. And the biggest thing when we draw humans, even Chibi, this distorted view right here, we see humans all the time. So we know if anything's left out or even messed up. So learning just basic anatomy where the clavicle's at. When I draw my women, I like long necks. I love long necks. It's like to bite them. But I love to see that clavicle area. Even if I have hair falling over it, I'll make sure that's in place first, because that's where my eye tends to go. So maybe that's where your eye tends to go too. All right, so we're going back to our Chibi chick. I'll bring my brush size up to a 6, and I'll go ahead and close it back off again. And let's go ahead and flare this out like she has some sort of arm bloomer things on. I like that, arm bloomer things. What is it? I'm not for sure. I'm coming down here, and let's do this. Again, just like the ellipse we created down here, I'm going over the hand, making this nice and wide. Then her arms are very small. Let's go ahead and zoom in here again for detail. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half like this. And then I'll put a couple of metal bolt looking things like that. Brush size goes up to a 4. Draw a nice circle like that. And then a rectangle, small square, a little bit bigger like that. Let's bring our brush size down here. So I'm not for sure what that is, but she has one of those just in case she needs it. And let's do her hands. Her hands are really, really simple. Really simple at this point. If you can look at them, they're like 1, 2, 3, 4. She has 4 hands, 4 fingers. And all I'm going to do is come 1, 2, 3, 4. And put a line right through here. Darken this in a little bit. And for good measures, I'm going to pump up my brush size to a 6. Come back nice and close. Let's go ahead and retrace it again. Boop. Those are actual sound effects from the Stevens household. Boop. So the same thing over here. Let's give her kind of a bracelet right here. Working with that ellipse. Let's do this side like that. Let's have some fun. Kind of an elongated rectangle. Put a circle through here. Nice bolts. Bring my brush size down quite a bit. Cut this in half. Maybe some circles like that. Kind of like a Spider-Man thing. My thumb is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she can literally close this hand right through here and make some contraption work. I'll bring my brush size back up to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring this back all the way down like this. And that's what we should have. Pretty nice and easy, pretty darn quick too. Let's come up here to make her eyes and then her goggles. So let's see, layer 2. You can tell my base area where my eyes are going to go. Her ears are actually in this area right here, and I'll keep it here for right now. I've said this before, but again, we have new people in here. If you take the corner of your eye, go ahead and poke it, but not hard, and run it straight back towards your ear, you're going to find that the base of the eye should run through here like that. And this is chippy, so it's a bit different. So let's go ahead and make a big zoom in here for you guys. I'm going to put my brush size up quite a bit to an 8. Making it big, almost like a half-dollar football shape sort of thing. Going along the lines I cut up for my eyes. And we can bring our eyeballs in here like this. Go ahead and color them in. Maybe some eyelashes. What we'll do here now is we'll hit the eraser tool. Bring the eraser tool quite a bit up. So now I start to come down here like that. I have some nice highlights in the eyes. I don't like that one very much. This wouldn't. I keep messing my buttons up. B for brush, not P for pen. I make a little triangle for our nose right here. Again, it's just a nice little indication. Some eyebrows going on. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3 for the lips right through here. I'm going to actually have my eraser tool up here. P. Bullocks. B, not P. My brush size is going to go down again to a 6. Let's throw some strands of hair, some textures in through here. Let's erase this ear. Hit B again, follow a nice little contour in through here. Okay, so I got 1, 2 circles. I'm going to come in nice and tight to give this depth. Bring my brush size back to an 8, start on this side here. So again, it's an illusion with line weight variation. To throw some shadows in here, bring my brush size down again to a 4. Follow this area right through here. So I have 1, 2 circles. Bring my brush size back to an 8. And we'll start up here this time. Bring this down like that. Bring the brush size down for some detail. Cut this in half. Make a few circles here, 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 here. Some lines going through here, like maybe there's some tape. Split the lip here. And we'll, you guys have a little chippy. Piece of cake. Now we can work on the eyes a lot more. I'm not super happy with the eyes. But overall, not a bad feel for a quick 25, 30-minute little chippy. Real quick, let's take 3 screens. We'll take a 5 to 10-minute break, and then we're going to come back and apply what we've kind of done with the chippy here with the manga style. And we'll take a little bit more time on that as well. So who was the first victim / volunteer?
Looks like we have a Mr. Jizba.
Mr. J, what's up, baby? Hello, Puddin'. That's my Harley Quinn, by the way.
There
Not
we go.
bad. I like your
I was
dress
gonna
better than
say,
mine.
it's incredibly hard to tab out and tab back to this on my tablet.
Oh, snap. I didn't even think about that. How do you guys do that? Does anyone have any suggestions for him to do that?
I was thinking about running it on my computer and then like going to my tablet, but I just didn't get it set up that way today, like sending my screen to my computer every now and then.
You know what? I've been doing this for like a year now. I'd never thought about that. I'm just like, you got to follow along with me. This is a piece of cake. Like you guys have two screens in front of you. Wow. And by the way, that's Manga Studio, everybody. I'm pointing to my screen. I like that a lot better than Photoshop for my purposes anyway. But not bad. What do you think of the art style instruction? Am I going too fast, too slow for you? Oh, Derek, you're doing awesome.
You're going. You're doing good.
Okay, good. Good to hear. I like her. You're going to have to work on line weight variation, but again, from tabbing back and forth, that's brilliant to do that. I love your legs, and I love the style of her dress. So you did a really good job. She's like, look at me, give me a hug.
Why, thank you. Yeah, I definitely need line with stuff, but...
All right. Well done, Mr. J. I appreciate you. 2 more victims, and we'll take a break. Mr. J is awesome, by the way. He's part of our MMO class development team, and the dude knows his games. Let me tell you what. We have new people here on Wednesday nights, 9 Eastern time. The first hour is devoted for game development, talking about game mechanics, and then the last hour is for the art side. So the developers are getting to know what the art team's doing, the art team's knowing what the developers are doing, and 3D Buzz is creating a huge MMO, massive online playing game. And I invite everybody that's new here to show up on Wednesday nights. I'd love to have you. But anyway, who's our next victim, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson?
Next victim is a Mr. Sunny.
Mr. Sunny.
Oops, wait.
Sunny.
Here we go.
Dude, not bad at all. I like it. You even put some shading in there.
Thank you.
Show off.
Yeah, I tried, but it's my first chibi, so...
It's really, they're fun to do. Again, they're really simple to do, and you can throw one out in no time at all. But really well done. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I can't wait to get really more exploring in their gears and all that sort of stuff, too. We'll do that in the future. But she looks good.
Can't wait to see that.
Well done. Again, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, watch him, okay?
Thank you.
Alrighty.
You're welcome. Last victim, and we'll take our break.
All right. Last victim is a Jane.
Jane said she is a hot mama. I've seen pictures. She is hot.
Hello.
How you doing, Jane?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad that you're here. Not bad. Her left hand is a little bit small.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of zoomed in.
It's okay. You're doing great. Jane's one of the people, this is for the new guys and
And
gals.
she's leaning. She's leaning a bit.
It's okay. I wish people could see where you started from. I'm going to say Jane had talent, but very underdeveloped talent way back when. And she is head and tails above what she's done before. So I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. And since you're the closest one to Leonard, you're a Canuck. Kick his butt if you get to see him, okay, for me. All right. We're going to take a 10-minute
Nothing's
break.
in the way.
Just drill through it. It's like I lived in Illinois most of my life. Like, oh, Chicago. I'm like, no, Illinois. Like, yeah, Chicago. Like, no, Chicago's up north. And I was in Carbondale, all the way in the southern tip. Oh, so is that like an hour away? Like, no, it's like 5 to 6 hours away, you freaks. I don't know Canadian borders that well. I apologize. That's enough of that. I'm being silly now. I'm on a tangent. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, take us out of here for 7 minutes, and we'll come back. Guys and gals, get a drink, use the potty, do what you got to do. And then when we come back, we're going to be tackling this hot mama right here. Ready? Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's yours truly, Derek T. Stevens. I went outside and counted all the blades of the grass on my front lawn twice. I'm back. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson ordered pizza and drank a few beers. We are doing great. I'm glad that you guys are here. The first night of Steampunk. We created the Chibi in this last lesson through here. Sorry, 5-minute warm-up. Created a Chibi from this to this. Kind of changed things around. I like to do things kind of on the fly. Right now, my bread and butter is doing this American fusion style. Very pointy, very exaggerated type poses, dark eyes and stuff like that. So that is what I do for a living. I'm fortunate to be here with 3D Buzz and their team. So that's what I'm going to teach you here. Here's my base outline. Again, going back to like the wireframe analogy. I'm going to create another layer on top of this. I'm going to name this base. I'm going to hit enter. And what we're going to do is try, and we shall succeed, but draw this fusion style like we did the Chibi style. And again, I'm usually drawing my chicks, my girls, anywhere from 8 to 9 head lengths long. I like them long and lean. Nothing wrong with short and stubby. I mean, you know, short, stubby dwarf girls need love too. As I take a drink of Diet Coke. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come back down here to layer 1. I'm going to ghost this out quite a bit. Come back to my base, and then I will pick not quite as dark as blue. And for those who are following at home, my image size is a 300 dpi. It is roughly, say, 4 by 7, so 4 wide, 7 high. And again, the reason for 300 dpi is I really want to grab as much of the paper as I can. We know about the box area. I'll go ahead and do this again real quick for you guys. And this is so not looking like a box, but you can tell that's what the box looks like. So what we're going to do is, it's almost like the Chibi head. It is very much your potato wedge. I have my V area right through here. Your zygomatic bone is that. Pops in through here. Now, I like to make more of a point in my chin. I'll flatten it out through here. Then our jawbone. I'll bring the ear in just a little bit like this. Go ahead and bring this down. And of course, she's not a Chibi, so you're going to see more of her neck. Again, I love long, luscious, beautiful necks. If I was a vampire, I would be in heaven. Here we go. So I'll make it nice and long. Now notice what that was subtle. Now I could have drawn a straight line like that, but I didn't. I really made a curve. You can tell it's bowing out, because this actually leads into your latissimus dorsi. I'm sorry, your trapezius muscle. Latissimus dorsi is down through here. So my head is through here. I'll even do this for us. Sometimes I like to break the head down into planes. This is the forehead area is going to go. The plane in through here is for a side. And then you can split everything down to the middle like that. And you're like, well, how do you know where the eyes go? I made a landmark for my ear. Again, if my eyeball is right here, and here's a corner of my eyeball, I follow this eyeball around, and it should hit the baseline of the ear every time, unless you had a horrible accident, and we don't want to talk about that. So I'm going to come down here to my neck through here like this. And what I usually like to do, and I didn't do it this time, I apologize, is I usually start from the middle. That way I know I have enough room on my canvas to work up or work down. So let's go ahead and create our area right through here. And notice it's a quick circle. That is her rib cage. From rib cage, we're going to come down here like this. Our imaginary spine would come down through here like this toward hips. Now let's try this. Let's make another layer. I want to make sure everyone's on the same page. I'm going to select that, Control T. So that's one head length long. From her chin down to her sternum bone is one head length long. Okay, let's name this. Let's first get out of this. Let's name this head tool. So I can come back here and manipulate it so we can measure everything out. So this is where our core is, our chest. Actually, the core is down through here. And I'm building back from this latissimus dorsi through here. That is your lats. Comes down here. It's nice and it's long. And what I like to do is make a small V. Again, it's subtle. Let me redo it for you. I come here like this. Make a small V for where hip bone's going to be at. I'll make another one right here. So we got the head, our plane areas for the head, the ear. That's our landmark. Kind of the long neck We have our area right through here where the chest is at, and we measured it out. 1 head length long from her chin to her sternum. Sternum area is right through here. Another head length long. So what I'm going to do is come build up on this. Now I can literally have big tracts of land like that, but I choose not to do that. I don't need that. I don't want it right now. Now some characters call for it. Lady Death, she calls for it. A couple of DC characters, they're big-breasted. I like necks. So we're going to come down through here. And then rib cage, and then I'm going to get my eraser tool out. B for brush. So I have my little indentation where the rib cage is at. And I follow it down like that. So now I have her neck coming through here for her breast. And it looks like she doesn't have a breast right here. That's fine. What we can do is, ideally what I'll do is, I'll actually, like a sports bra looking thing right through here. And again, we've learned about the lips. I'm wrapping it around the body. And then what I can do is come in through here like this and build it up. Because your breast area actually comes into your deltoid area right through here like that. So now we have both our breast. Yay, breast. Our nice long, lean body. We have our hip bones like that. Let's go ahead and measure out or draw our arms. We shall, yes we shall. Now this is just eyeballing it. So let's go to my head tool, which I have right here. I'm going to Control T. Bullocks. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, you didn't let me get back to my proper layer.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to Control Cut. Edit. Paste. And this is bad because now my layers are all messed up. But for time's sake, I'll flip this around here like this. Now we know this is 1 head length long. So from the shoulder to the elbow, that's roughly about the right size for eyeballing it. Elbow to the wrist, so you have 2 head lengths long. Let's put this up here, hit enter, come back to my base like this, come back to my brush. Now, she's not super muscular, she's long and wispy. So I'm going to come down through here. I still have my deltoid. You can tell she's built. She's stacked, but she's not overly stacked. She's fit. Shoulders on a woman. Angela Bassett, I believe, has the nicest shoulders I've ever seen in a woman. Even Madonna, and I hate to admit that, but she definitely worked her shoulders out. So instead of coming back through here, getting all the triceps and all that stuff, what we're going to do is we're going to make it nice and smooth. Come back down here. It still starts to get thinner. Make a little V for the elbow. This comes out like that for where the hand is at. And then I'll make a small circle for where I want my hand to go. So we got the head, the shoulder. We have to have a shoulder over here now. So we have one here. Another shoulder area right through here. And that shoulder is going to lead through here like that. This comes out, kind of flares out like that a little bit. I don't like that. Let me get back. Let's bring it down here. My illustration through here. And that's where her cloth is going to go like that. So ideally drawing through the shoulder here to indicate where the other shoulder landmark is at. We already put the cloth on here. Her hands resting like that. And let's go ahead and build her out first. Let's bring her to donkey junk out through here, her bottom. Let's go ahead and measure this out as well. So from where her hip stops right through here, it's not quite a head length long to where her crotch starts. I know, Nelson's laughing. Ah, he said crotch. I did say crotch. Everyone has a crotch. Just ask my 4-year-old. We're learning all about that potty training. She's done with that. But anyway, so here we go. We're going to bring this up a little bit like that. I won't bother with the legs or the feet just yet. So real quick, that's what we have. I'll take the first 2 people to volunteer to make sure that I'm not going too fast. Let's hear from Wolf. I've not heard from him all night long. Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, pick on Wolf and see what he's doing and how he's doing.
You want us to switch into a screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Dude, looking good.
thanks.
I thought I'd catch you sleeping or something like that. Really
No,
looking
not
good,
sleeping.
man. Man,
Thanks.
seriously, you're nailing my style, that elongated, long waist. And I do not say this lightly, my friend, but you have some nice breasts there.
Thank you.
Breasts
I've
are
been working
hard.
out.
I didn't say pectoral muscles. I'm talking
Ah.
about full-on beautiful women breasts.
Cool.
Seriously, breasts are hard to draw. You don't want to make them too big. You don't want to make them too saggy. The thing I try to talk about is teardrop shape. Now, the thing that we run in problems here with steampunk, a lot of girls wear corsets. So that messes everything up because they're not hanging naturally. I'm not trying to sound gross or be silly, but these are things you have to think about as an artist. That's why I like to draw things out like this. We draw them out flesh form, and then we can dress our guys and gals up, and we can move certain body bits and parts appropriately.
Right.
Right on?
Yeah, I've been noticing that my drawings, because I just to keep up, I have to do kind of the sketchy drawing. But if you look here, it looks a lot better, doesn't it?
It does when it's shrunk down, seriously.
Yeah, you can kind of see like what it would be like if I did good lines over. It's just kind of cool.
I'm proud of you, Wolf, man. Again, Wolf, in like a period of 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever, just he's come so far. I like your Chippy, too.
Yeah, didn't get to the face, but
It's all right, my friend. It's quite all right.
all right.
Well done. All right, one more
Thanks.
victim. I'm glad you're keeping up, dude.
Thanks.
Who's next?
Raise your hand or post in the questions panel if you've already been. I don't see anyone.
That's all right. I should pick on Mr. Big J, but that's all right. Let's go back to my screen. Everyone's still in class. We've got a full class here. I'm very happy about that. All right. Again, our Chippy, if you look here, I'm just going to get rid of that because I keep going back to that. To here, we have the same hair type, style, and the goggles and all that. So let's go ahead and come up here and go ahead and start on our face. I'm going to make this layer, base layer. See? This is what you get for messing up your layers. Layers are very important to keep track of. There we go. Make another layer on top of this, and ideally next time I'll make sure I keep track of everything. Makes your life a lot simpler. Okay, we're going to call this Fin01 for finished. What we're going to do is I'm going to create another color by mixing up my paint. I'm teasing. I'm just going to come over here and get my black brush or black ink. And let's start doing this, shall we? Again, just like our other drawing that we did, let's go ahead and start with the ear. Hold on, let's bring my brush size down to a 5. Bring my ear right here. 3 for the inside of the ear. Go back up to a 4. And I'm going to start to the top of the head. That little cowlick thing she's got going on. So I'm going to bring this down like that. A nice point. Let's make it a little bit wider. Another quick point. And from here, you can tell 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, so there's 5. I miscounted. And make the circles for her goggles. Little lip for their goggles. Another circle for their goggles here. This time I'm going to bring them out here like that so some hair can hang down. I'm going to bring my brush size down to a 3. So we have some bangs that come through here. Maybe make some go behind her ear. Follow along with my head like this. And from here, I go like that because now I can come in really close and through here. After I make my jaw, my neck, I can kind of give it some texture lines in through here like that. Come here and get my face. Thinning it out just a bit. And again, we got some landmarks coming through here. Let's do this with part of the hair. I'll just put some tones here. Okay, the eyeball. These eyeballs are very much, again, almost teardrop shape. I start here. I build up like this. I look at their corner here. I don't necessarily have to attach them. I go like this. So then I will bring my brush size up quite a bit. Excuse me, I have something in my mouth. I just threw up a frog. Ribbit, ribbit. It's a joke. It's a joke, son, I tell you. Come over here for my eye. Like this. Just to bring some eyelashes. I'm very much influenced by a guy named Michael Turner who did Witchblade. I love his artwork. He died of cancer a couple of years ago. He was amazing. So I make a small circle like this. Big black area like this. So now I have an eyeball. What I'm going to do with my eyeball is I'm going to do this. I'm going to select this, hit Control T. Bring my eyeball over here. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. And I may twist it to adjust it. And again, if you look at this eyeball through here, the corner should be even with the area of this ear. So I'm actually going to bring it up just a little bit and over. Hit Enter, Control D. Hit my eraser tool. Bullocks. I need to bring my eraser tool down quite a bit. Zoom back here. I got myself a nice eyeball. Now what I should have done, what I'll do now, is I'm going to head and select this eyeball real quick here again. Hit Control Copy, Control V. Move this bad boy over here like this. Hit Control T. Swing it around this area like this. Bring it over here. And I'm going to eyeball it. Was that funny, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson?
Yes.
Thank you. Eyeball it like this. Hit Enter. Clean up some areas right through here with the eraser tool. And I got my eye. Now, we could have drawn each eye separately, one step at a time, but, you know, that's hard. It's hard because people, more attractive people are, like Angelina Jolie. My wife thinks she's a skink. I have to strongly argue about that point. Skink or not, she's very symmetrical, her face. It means things are even. They are in alignment. And to draw eyes in perfect alignment, like just wanted it, it's hard. Why work hard, work smart? When we're working with our computer right here, use the areas that have strengths. Copy it, control it, spin that baby around once you make an original. It's a lot faster instead of spending hours saying this isn't right, and it's just so frustrating. So hopefully I sorted you guys out on that. I'm going to come back to my final layer here. I got one eyeball and I'm a stranger. Look at me, I'm pretty, Nelson. I wish I was a pony. Sorry, that was a tangent. I amuse myself, okay? That counts for something, right? Let's go ahead and do some eyebrows by hitting the B brush. They're not super angular. I'm not trying to make it look like a vixen. Almost vixen like over here. But not so vixen like here. And for the nose, all I'm really doing for the nose is, you can tell over here, is I'm drawing a triangle and a couple little dots like this. And I'm coming down closer with a smaller brush, and it has an indication like that for a nose. So I'm bringing my nose down here. Make a little highlight area right through here. And then maybe a line that comes through here. And notice I'm taking this eyebrow right here and bringing this line all the way down like this. You'll see a lot of Disney characters drawn that way. That helps with the 3/4 view that we just made. And from here we'll do some pretty lips. Not as pretty as Nelson's though. I'm going to come through here. Speaking of Angelina Jolie. Now what does that look like? That literally looks like, I'm drawing a bird. Look at me, I'm flying. Cow, caw, caw, pow. I'm dead. That's the movie The Crow. I'm playing as you guys are keeping up. That literally looks like a bird here, okay? I hit the corners like this. Draw the bottom of her mouth nice and pouty. And then a small triangle like that. And I usually split something like that. And put some black highlights in it. And what the heck, I'm going to make it a little more vixen-like. Really darken up those eyelashes up through here. Basically adding line weight variation. And pull her back like that, and we get ourselves a hot-looking mama going on. How's everybody doing so far? How are you keeping up? If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. I do not mind repeating myself. I really believe in repetition, going over and over and over. That's how you learn these things. So, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, does anybody have a question or anything that you want me to demonstrate again?
Doesn't seem like anybody has questions.
All right, then let's have some fun with this hot chick, shall we? All right, so we've already changed up the other chippy. Let's change this chick up too a little bit, shall we? I'll bring her up through here. My brush size, I'm going to bring up to a 5. Let's go ahead and keep, let's see, some sort of shoulder pad looking thing right through here. And then bring my brush size down, making looking like little vent air hole looking things. And since we've been talking about female breast, let's play with them, shall we? Not every day do you get to play with female's breast. Now, not in real life because you get slapped and possibly thrown in jail. But I'm talking about your illustration right here. Let's go ahead and put a corset on her. And again, I'm making my lips area like this. Now you can tell, if I was to do that with her, she's going to be very grumpy because that's going to be pinched in. That's going to hurt. But for right now, let's just go ahead and concentrate on the corset. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm bringing this out a little bit and down so it looks like it's wrapping around. I'm going to do the same thing over here. This comes past all the latissimus dorsi. Bring it in here like that. And then we're going to bring it down to V like this. Nice smooth line. And remember our little hip bones that we built or drew. So I'm going to take this out like that, a little bit past that, a little bit past it. And then let's go ahead and make our other ellipse area like that. So if I can remember all my that works. So that's what we should have drawn so far. But we really need to worry about the breast. Breast! Let's do this with her. Let's go ahead and say her breast is right through here like that. Instead of worrying about the detail that's coming in through here like that, let's do this. Let's give her some sort of shoulder garment right through here. Comes past her neck, comes down through here. Bring my brush size down to a 3. Just gonna get a little more detail in here. It's nice, it's close, it's not touching. Nice and close. That touches a little bit like that. Let's wrap this around the latissimus dorsi. And you'll be amazed at the small amounts of detail like that. It really makes things pop. And through here, more greebling. What am I doing? I don't know. I'm making an interesting, nice little looking pattern looking thing because they are part of the Victorian type age. From here, back to the neck. Bring this along here like this. And all this is a V. It's a right angle. I'll bring this back like that. And the same thing with this area right here. I'll bring my brush size down to a 2. I'm making it look nice and pretty. And what am I doing? I don't know. I'm gimbling, whatever you want to call it. So we have a collar over here, so we're going to have a collar over here. So I'm going to bring this collar around like this. Again, it's kind of a right angle look. And I just totally boogered that up. So do not follow along with that. Bad Derek. Just move this up here a little bit more. There we go. I get the proper angle. So this comes more out. Then we have a little V. And then we have her neck. It cuts off like that. Then we can build from the inside all the greebling and stuff. So we pull back. It's really looking nice and tight. It's really looking good that we've taken our time and we put a lot of detail into it. And all we did is do some scribbles, but don't tell anybody. That's part of the secret. Okay. So with this right here, what we're going to do is we're going to draw some folds and close. Let's actually make our brush size a little bit bigger. So it looks bunched up. And when it looks bunched up like that, we can get rid of the boobies inside. It's bunched up. We don't have to worry about that, her left breast being pinched. So that's good to know. So what we're going to do here is put some detail into the corset. What I'm doing is I'm hitting the canvas, hitting shift. Same thing here, start out at an angle, come down, angle it out, angle it in, angle it up, angle it out, angle it in, angle it down, angle it out. And from here, let's go ahead and close her shirt up like that. And I bring my brush size back down to a 3. Some quick lines in through here. Some circles in through here like this. Then again, you're saying, what are you doing that for? Because it looks cool. Because we need to have that texture for everything that we're doing that is steampunk. So now we have the head, part of their goggles. We need some more in their goggles. We have her blouse that's tucked into this corset looking thing. And let's go ahead and do this, I guess, the theme with the dress. What I'm going to do is build off this corset right here. And it's going to come down at an angle like this. Oops. My brush size up a little bit. It's going to come up at an angle like it's a belt. We'll put some cool gear along here in a moment. And from here, let's have some fun. What we're going to do is build some lace around here like this. And then we're going to layer it out. So now let's get rid of some layers. There we go. So this is what we should kind of have going on right here. And it is different from what we drew before I drew initially. But I really want to draw stuff on the fly and kind of challenge myself and see what we can come up with. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Nope. Or maybe
Good.
someone's posting in the chat. Is that only possible way to do a nose?
Oh, no, there's plenty of ways. Hold on. Well, you guys are catching up. Let me find something. You can see all my dirty little secrets in my computer file. Let me go to desktop items. And then I'm coming to Heavy Cat Studio. Heavy Cat cards. Let's see. Thinking. We'll open this one up. I made her nose actually a little bigger. You can still see like the manga type eyes. This nose here, side profile. But it's not the little triangle, perfect little nose by any means. I'll find you another example, then I'll actually draw a couple more. This chick here, this is the face, ears through here, big eye patch, cool looking sexy mean eye. Her lips are actually more up at an angle. Now instead of drawing the little triangle nose like that, with her what I did is I'll build off that eyebrow again because it's a reverse three-quarter pose. And I'll come down here like this, throw some shading in here, and then her other nostril comes up, maybe not that far, like that. And then I can take my brush down and put some highlights in it and stuff. That's how I draw my noses. And there's plenty of other ways when we draw some of the men from steampunk. We'll be able to look at them as well. Their noses are more manly, but I'm known for drawing women. So does that help answer your question at all?
Yes, it does.
Cool. There's no right or wrong way to draw a nose. I mean, noses are noses. They have a function. You must be able to breathe. I have the habit of drawing what society believes it's supposed to be pretty, and that's not necessarily the case all the time. And this is why I needed to. There we go. So let's go ahead and start building on to our arms through here. Let's give her a small books. B for brush, not P. Let's give her a little brace through here. And what we'll do is note that. Let's build on some little, I like to call Rob Liefeld gadgets through here. They have no real use, but here. So this flares out, flares in. We'll flare this back out like this. Flare this area through here. And let's give her some nice, pretty, let's bring our brush size down to a 2. I don't like that. Let's bring our brush size up to a 4. And kind of like our imaginary or our lips, it's going to be following around this area right here. I'm drawing lace. like so. Drawing the other imaginary part of the ellipse here. A nice harsh black line. Like that. She's wearing gloves. And then I'll bring my brush area down here. Let me get a little bit closer so you guys can see what's going on. Making little ovals. And through all this. So now I step back. Once I get my blue area off here, my wireframe is going to pop out a little bit more. For a hand, for time's sake today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my thumb here. It's going to come to an angle like this, almost like a mitten. I can then just divide them up like this. And now I'm just having fun with some detail. So now that I turn the base off, that's kind of what it looks like. We have some sort of armband through here. We have the folds and the clothes through here. We have nice greebling and detail of the glove. So even back this far, it looks like, we got a lot of detail into it. It holds the viewer's eye. You know what she needs, Mr. Nelson.
A unicorn horn.
Let's see here. No, not so much. So let's go ahead and finish this arm out right here. Bring your brush size back to a 5. And because she has one over on this side, let's give her one over here. A little bit of detail. I mean, literally just blacking it out. Bring our brush size back down to a 4. And immediately after that armband, we flare it out. And our lace, part of our glove through here. So let's go ahead and give her, let's do this. I'll show you another trick what I do. Turn this area off here. Let's turn that layer off here. And we'll draw on top of it, shall we? Yes, we shall. So what I'm going to do is draw a gun holster looking thing. Almost like an arrow, where a sheath where you put your arrows at. It's common because these weapons that the steampunk people have are pretty big and bulky. So what I'm going to do is draw this area around right here. Draw a nice slip on it. One barrel, two barrel. I have a line that comes through here like so. Let's make some circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make another circle right here like this. Bring this down like so. Little circle. Then we have our handle for our weapon. Our base around it. Let's do some greebling like that to make it chrome plated and pretty. Put that on it. Another little line through here and then some more pretty greebling. Look at me, it's pretty. And then I'm going to select this bad boy like this. Control T. Bring it over here. Shrink it down. Hit Enter. Control D to deselect. And I can come in here and literally clean this all up. Ideally, I should have put this on a different layer and I would have made things a lot easier. So now she has a gun. And for her gear right here, we'll just make little X's or boxes. Some X's through here like that. And have fun with all the area for the lace. Following along the contours, let's go make a little diamond shape right here. We put a shadow in. And there you have it. There you are. A real quick down and dirty. We've done, hold on, let's do this. Oops, oops, oops. Copy. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Good for me. Edit, paste. Control T. So tonight we've done a chippy, and we've done pretty much the entire body of American Fusion. Very strong, leaning towards a manga type style in less than 2 hours. And the class was fast. But let's open it up for any questions. Does anybody have any questions? I noticed we lost a couple people here. I'm hoping they weren't like dissatisfied or like, oh my God, this guy's going too fast. So I definitely want feedback, right, wrong, or otherwise. So we'll go ahead and take the first volunteer, Mr. Nelson.
All right, raise your hands or post in the questions panel. And we got a wolf posting in the chat panel. Wolf.
Wolf, rub his nose in it. Dude, that seriously looks good.
Changes.
I like it a lot.
No.
You know,
Thanks.
her arm's a little bit long. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
It's a little bit long. That's all right, though. I mean, again, I'm going fast. You're keeping up with it. You're getting, I like the corset. Really, really good. And the hand looks good, too, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Really, really good. I'm proud of you. So what do you think so far?
That's cool. It's fast, so the drawing could look a little better, but I think with the speed, and I feel pretty good about it.
Well, next class, I'm going to slow down quite a bit. We're just going to work on one single character. Tonight was kind of an introductory. I wanted everyone to see that. I want to start out with a simple, chippy one to show everyone that anybody can draw by simple shapes. And, of course, this is more kind of the advanced version. So you're hanging in there, man. Well done. Good job.
Thanks.
Now get back to coloring my comic book. Good stuff, by the way. I like the Hunter Green. I don't know if you got my email, but it's looking great.
Oh, cool. No, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, awesome job. Next victim.
Mr. Jizba.
She's cute. Are you there? Mr. J, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All
I
right,
am
good.
here. I was just muted.
So flipping back and forth, I understand it's
What do
pretty
you
hard, but I like it. Your corset looks good. The hand's a little small. That's one thing. I use your selection tool and just make it a little bit bigger. It's at the right angle, the right size, the right length. Yeah, much better. Until she's
All
a
right.
deltoid, I like the little greebling, as Steve likes to call it, around, the specialty areas. Not bad. And again, I know what I'm drawing, and I've done this forever. So I don't know if I could keep up with some other dork like me going, you need to draw this, make the V, and do all this stuff. So you're doing a good job, especially, this is your first art class with me, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's actually my first art class in a while.
So are you having fun? Are you learning
Yeah,
anything?
I'm having fun. I'm learning a lot.
Right, good.
Like little hip bone jump things and stuff like that. There's some nifty tricks.
Good. I hope to keep throwing them out. So I got to impress you because I need you on the development team. I don't want you to go away. I'm going to marry you one day, Mr. J.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Rock on, baby. Okay, last victim. I'm very proud of you. Keep it up, dude.
Alrighty. It looks like next up and our last victim will be a Sunny.
Sonny! Always showing off.
Hello?
Always showing off.
Showing
Where
up.
do you live? Showing off. Where do you live, man? Because I'm coming to your house. I'm gonna grab a big pizza, a couple beers. We're gonna eat. We're gonna drink. Then I'm gonna try to kick your butt because you're showing off my class.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to
I'm
be
teasing. You're doing a great job. I love
thanks,
it.
man.
She looks really good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I try to be fast because you draw fast, so I try to match my speed. But yeah, I just rush with the hands. Kind of do have some misery to draw hands.
Hands are hard, aren't they? This one art director was from Big Eyes Small Mouth. It was a role-playing tabletop game. That's how I got a job, and I'm gonna tell you a secret. I never told anybody. Not even my wife knows this. The art thing was, he's like, draw me a hand in a weird position, and I'll get you a job. I'm like, well, I can do that. I went home and light tabled a hand and sent it in. It's terrible, isn't it? He didn't say I couldn't do that. So I did that, and I got the job, and I got like 3-book deal off of it. But,
Wow.
I feel bad. Yeah, okay, I cheated. But I cheated to win.
But you got
So-
it.
I got it, and hands are very hard to draw. I have like 2 to 3 hand poses. The standard hand pose, of course, is a fist with something in it, or a girly-looking hand. Anyway, yeah, hands are hard to draw. Dynamic hands, so I give props to anybody who can do it. So how long have you been drawing, man?
Well, I'm drawing since I'm 3 years old, actually, but I'm drawing like instinctively, so it's not a proper proportion, or these are my first time, so.
Well, hands up, who hates this guy?
Thanks, man.
I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You're going to make me sharper. So keep it up. And the important thing I want everyone to know is we all have different skill levels. I told this story before, but you're new, so you've not heard it, so I'll tell you. I was at this place called the Renaissance Center. That's actually where I met Jason Busby at. I went there to animation school. And, you know, I was published like something 40, 50 sometimes in comic books and this and that. But I didn't know Photoshop. I'm training in Maya. And there's, in the book, the instruction, it says, use the MMB button. And dude, I swear to you, I was looking all over my keyboard. I'm like up and down, turning it upside down. I'm like, I can't find the damn MMB. What in the hell's, and this guy named Andy, he's sitting next to me. He's like, that's the middle mouse button, you twit. I'm like, oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, middle mouse, MMB. But if you don't know, you don't know. And I couldn't keep up with these guys. So just don't anyone judge yourself by anybody else. But yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. It's pretty appreciated.
Well, good. I'm proud of you. You're inspiring me.
Well, you're fun to follow, so it's easier.
All right, good. I'm proud of you, man. Thank you very much for being here. All right, so next week, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, please tell them how they can turn their homework in.
Homework.
Oh, yeah, you guys got homework. Hells yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The only way you guys can get better is by doing it over and over again.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want the more.
As soon as I get the write-up from Derek, I'll post it on the site, and everybody here should get notified of that homework because they should be all enrolled in the class on the website. So
we just.
Go ahead.
you'll get notified of it.
So we. Pardon?
You'll get notified of it.
No, Sonny's asking about the hand here.
Sorry, drawing. So yeah, no commentaries.
The hand there, what I like to do, it's an okay angle. It's a little unnatural unless she's reaching for something. If it's her right hand, if you turn it out, you'd see more of her palm instead of like that. That's what's making it look unnatural because it's that angle. Yeah, that hand right there. Otherwise, it's good.
All right.
So for homework next week, what I want you guys to do so I can get to know you is I want you to draw yourself in a chippy style, which we've already done, 2 head lengths long, nothing spectacular. I want you to draw you in a steampunk outfit. You could be armor, use your wildest imagination. I want to see what you guys come up with. It's going to be a fun assignment. That way we can scroll through the homework like, oh, that's Sonny. He's got all that hair. I hate him for another reason because I'm bald. So we'll know what he looks like and we can go find him and show off. So that will be our assignment. I'm kidding you, Sonny. I, again, appreciate that you're here. Is to draw yourself in a chippy style with steampunk gear, no matter what it is, how outlandish, how outrageous. I'm talking about goggles, backpacks, corsets. I'd love to see Linda draw himself as a girl in a corset.
Well, I won't be a girl, but it's going to be funny to draw myself, actually.
Awesome. So that's the assignment, guys and gals. Thank you very much for being here tonight or this morning, wherever you're at in the world. Another reminder, we have an MMO class development and art team that meets every Wednesday, 9 Eastern time. It's from 9 to 11 Eastern. I encourage you guys to come here because it's one way to get really good, really quick, because we just throw tons and tons of work at you. And I hope to see you then. I'm the Crow on the forums. Follow the daily drops and email me if you have any questions. I am the Crow, THECROW, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Mr. Nelson, take us out, guys. I'll see you next week.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.